Hey friends, be sure to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. My name is Jason Tolman, and this is the story of how one comment from a bully changed my life forever. When I was a kid, my family didn't have a lot of money. My dad died when I was just 2, and my mom didn't make enough money to provide much for us. She wanted me to be successful, so she saved up a lot of our money to send me to a really nice school. But with all of our money going towards my tuition, we couldn't afford much else. I had to wear old, ratty clothes and walk to school every day. All of the other kids mocked me for not having money, especially a boy named Ajax. He made fun of me every time he saw me. "Hey, it's the loser from the poor side of town. He can't even afford a car." He wasn't even funny when he mocked me, but everyone laughed anyway. "You know, Jason, you are never going to amount to anything in life. Poor people like you never do." When he said that, I knew I had to prove him wrong. I determined right then that I was going to be successful in ways that he had never been. I was going to be even richer than him when I grew up, so that he could never call me poor again. The problem was that no matter how hard I tried, it sort of seemed like he was right and I was destined for failure. I wasn't very good in school, and my sports skills weren't good enough to take me to the professional leagues. I didn't have any talents in music or acting either. No matter how hard my teachers tried to make me seem exceptional, I just didn't seem to have any talents. So how was I going to get even richer than Ajax and his family? The solution came to me one night after watching a movie online. In the movie, a poor woman married a rich old man and got all of his money when he died. I couldn't do the same thing in reverse. I could do the same thing in reverse, I realized. While I might not have been very successful in my lessons, I was pretty good at getting girls to like me. I was young and I knew girls thought I was attractive. Maybe rich widows would think so too. I researched for obituaries of successful men and started looking for their widows. Soon, I found the perfect target. Heath Baldtree was the CEO of the most successful paper product manufacturer in the country. And he'd built that company from the ground up with his wife, Helen. He had recently died of a heart attack, leaving millions of dollars behind for his wife. Hopefully, she would be looking for a new husband now that Heath was dead. I planned on being that husband. I would have called her for an interview about her business, but I didn't want our first meeting to be so stilled, so instead I watched the news for events that she might attend. My plan was that I would go to one of those events and try to run into her casually. But no matter how hard I searched, the only event I could find that she was going to was a fancy ball all the way on the other side of town. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't drive there. I begged my mom for the money for a taxi. I knew we didn't have a lot of extra money, but I promised her she wouldn't regret it. "Mom, if you give me this money now, I promise I will pay you back 10 times over. I just need $50 for a cab to the other side of town. If my plans work, I'll be able to give you $500 back when I repay you."
Okay, Jason, you can have $50. But please make sure that whatever you're doing is important. We really don't have a lot to spare right now.
I was sure that what I was doing was important. I took the money and headed to the event. When I got there, it was easy to find Helen. She was sitting at a table alone. No one was talking to her, but I went to go see her. Soon, after a while, we started talking and we were laughing. Soon, she told me about how she had helped her husband build his company, and how sad she was about his death. At the end of the event, I gave her my number and she promised to call me. It wasn't long before we were talking every day. She had all sorts of stories from her long, exciting life. Sometimes she wanted to meet up. Since I couldn't drive to meet her, she would send a private car to come get me. Then we would spend time at her apartment, watching TV and talking and having a good time. Sometimes she even took me traveling with her. On a trip to Paris, we kissed for the first time. I thought it would be gross because of how old she was, but it wasn't so bad. We didn't do a lot of kissing, but we did start living together not long after that. We both really liked spending time together. I liked all of the travel amenities, and she liked having someone around the house. Her grandchildren never seemed to visit her. They didn't even come to see her on her birthday, even though she begged. I was so happy with Helen that I forgot entirely about Ajax. I wasn't worried about the money or the inheritance anymore. When I asked Helen to marry me, I just want to spend more time with her. Unfortunately, only 3 months after we were married, Helen got sick. She coughed, and she coughed, and she coughed, until one day she died, and I was left all alone. Well, except for her money, Helen left me everything in her will. Her kids were furious. But with my newfound riches, I could afford lawyers to keep them away from her money. They didn't deserve it. They hadn't even spent any time with her. Instead of letting Helen's grandchildren have her money, I started giving it away. I gave some of it to a charity and a lot of it to my mother, to repay her for the $50 she had lent me for a cab. I also kept a lot of it, and bought a nicer car than Ajax or anyone else ever had. I bought a nice car for Ajax's neighbor too. It was fancier than anything Ajax could have ever afforded, and I liked the idea of him having a constant reminder of that sitting so close to his house. Sometimes, I still don't know what I'm going to do with my life now that Helen is gone. But as the richest 20-year-old in the country, I have plenty of time and money left to figure it out. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.